I'm Emily Rooney. Welcome to Beat the Press. Our topics is coverage of the Aaron Hernandez story, Overkill. The Boston Herald's Howie Carr gets blowback over his book deal with mobster John Martorano. Maine Governor Paul LePage thumbs his nose at the local newspapers, plus our panel rants and raves of the week. Joining me are Dan Kennedy of Northeastern University, WGBH's Callie Crossley, author and journalist Roy Harris, and Tom Fiedler of Boston University. First, the apparent ties between New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez and a homicide sent the media into a feeding frenzy this week. Given Hernandez's fame, it's certainly newsworthy, but does that justify the overdrive coverage? Adam Riley has more.
Patriot star Aaron Hernandez's possible role in the death of Odin Lloyd was a big story from the outset. But at first, the media urged the public not to rush to judgment.
Police quick to say that Hernandez is not a suspect.
Soon, though, that restraint disappeared.
Aaron, can you just talk to us? We just want to hear your side of the story.
When Hernandez left his North Attleboro home Thursday, he got the full OJ treatment.
Our Sky 7 video of Hernandez arriving there at Gillette Stadium. You just getting gas
It looks like he is parked at a gas station.
Here's Aaron Hernandez arriving at his attorney's office this afternoon.
Hernandez wasn't talking, so the media talked instead, even when there wasn't much to say.
We're following his car from Skya. In no way does that mean that we believe he's guilty of anything. We're just keeping an eye on developments here.
To be fair, some reporters did dig up newsworthy details.
The hard drive to Aaron Hernandez's home video surveillance system was heavily damaged.
But who needs details like that when you've got spectacular video like this?
I have to confess, we all gathered around the television set and started watching this. But I have to give special acknowledgement to WBZ TV, who just they share a camera, a helicopter, by the way, with Fox 25. They decided they just couldn't go on with it. There just wasn't enough substance there. I mean, the truth of the matter is that this is a big story. I mean, I don't blame anybody for giving it that much attention, but just on the point of the helicopter, I don't even know who would have thought of that. Oh, let's follow his car. I mean, and then the worst part of it was that endless speculation. Oh, he must be going to the police station to turn himself in. Oh, he must be going to meet with Bob Kraft or the Stacey James. Nobody had any idea, and that's when you really get into trouble.
Yeah, well, I think that this has gotten way too much attention. It's a story I'll say if 5 times, if he's arrested and charged with something. We don't know that that's going to be the case.
Oh, by the way, there's erroneous reporting about that this morning,
absolutely. We were going back and forth. On odd-numbered minutes, they were going to arrest him, and on even-numbered minutes, they weren't. I mean, here we go again. We don't know what is going on here. We have no idea, and certainly it deserves coverage, but until there's some definitive resolution to this one way or another, back off. Cover something else.
Well, to me, the most intriguing thing out of this was the other charge, the civil charge from February, which some people picked up and some people didn't, about the shooting of his associate. And there, actually, the associate has alleged that Hernandez was the shooter. Yeah, a federal civil lawsuit. And the New York Times this morning talked about the Hernandez story and did not mention the civil lawsuit. I think that's an element that needs to be, well, we'll obviously find out more about it. The thing that was really most disturbing to me, and we may have different opinions about this, was when this crosses over to be a sports story, you get really mixed signals. The story today about what 3 unnamed scouts said about his problems with drugs and his personality, it seemed to me they needed somebody named there. They needed to have someone stand up and say, this is what we have, and they didn't do it.
Oh, and God bless sports radio. It's all been, who's going to play tight end now?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Whenever you have that a connection between a celebrity of any kind, it can be political, it can be a movie star or a sports figure, and what may be legitimate news, that's the critical mass that causes everybody to go to excess. That's what we've seen. I have to wonder if the Patriots shouldn't be a little bit ashamed here for somehow, I gather this is what happened, is they summoned him to come in and meet at the stadium there. So, I mean, this isn't something he would have willingly done, I think. Certainly not if his lawyer was advising him to get in his car. At least the white SUV wasn't a Bronco. We didn't have to go through that. But the idea that if the Patriots management essentially exposed him to that kind of situation, that's unfair. Guilty or not guilty, it just, I think, was over the top. It should have stopped.
It is unfair, but how would they know that there'd be a pack of wolves out there following his every move, you know, to the game? It so reminded me of the O.J. thing. There's that famous exchange between Peter Jennings, the late Peter Jennings, and Ann Compton, where he says, there's nothing to say. And even Peter Jennings goes, Ann, is that a dog? Yes, Peter, that is a dog. I mean, that's where it had gotten, because there was nothing else to say. So this kind of conversation reminded me. Listen, this is a legitimate story because he is a celebrity, because this is very serious business. Someone has, you know, died and it's on your property. So all of that is legitimate. But how we present ourselves, this is just bad business looking like, I don't know what we're looking for. I mean, step back a minute. Maybe even if you wanted to record it just cause, but don't air it live. And then use it if you needed to later on in a report. I just thought it was way, way, way over the top. I really did.
It wasn't his property, by the way. It was about a mile from his property.
Well,
but
you know, it's close.
There's a lot of intrigue in this story, and he is connected in some way because there's a family connection to the deceased. So there's, you know, he's involved in some way or other. He was out with them the night before. I mean, once again, I don't blame the media for paying this much attention to it, but there's just sort of this presumption of guilt, I'd say, on the part of the media, and they're waiting for him to turn himself in or admit he did it. And I think there's just that vulture kind of approach to this, because there's blood in the water.
There was that line that he's not cooperating with the investigation. You know, I'm not sure what exactly that means.
What does that mean?
Right.
Not admitting he did it.
And people were there because nobody wanted to be the outlet that wasn't there if he happened to turn from the gas pump and say something. I mean, that's what that was about, you know.